Good morning, Primary 5. Welcome back to Math Session. This is our third meeting, yeah? Are you ready? If you're not ready, please get yourself ready. You may prepare your book, your notebooks, pencil, erasers, and so on, okay? Let's get it started. Now we are in chapter 2. We are no longer discussing the chapter 1 because it has ended. And I hope that all of you already understand about the chapter 1. But if you still have any question about our chapter 1, which is about counting to 10 million, you may ask me through in the comment section, or you may just ask me through Edmodo DM, yeah? Now we are in chapter 2. Please get yourself ready and don't forget to read chapter 2 purpose book first before you watch this video. We will learn about the multiplication by 10, 100, thousands and their multiples. But instead of multiplication, we have mastered it, right? You have mastered it, right? And at first, in the first grade, you have learned about the concept of multiplication, and it goes on and on. And the previous grade, which was in grade 4, you have learned about the multiple 2 digits by 1 digit or 3 digits by 2 digits, like that, right? But now we will learn about 10, 100, 1000, it can be 200, it can be 3000, or maybe 30,000, because that is also their multiples. Get ready. But first that, don't forget, we need to recall your mind. 4 times 8, easy, equals 32. 6 times 9, 54. 7 times 5, 35. 8 times 9, 72. For those who are still not capable in recalling multiplication table 1 to table 9, please recall it by yourself. Please practice it at home, because in primary 5 we do not have time to recall like what is 6 times 4, or what is 7 times 2, or what is 7 times 7. We do not have time for that because it has been discussed in the previous grades. Okay, so we are now in multiplication by 10, and then I have these two boxes. Set aside the zeros. After that, multiply the numbers, put the zeros back to the right. It is the step, okay? When we multiply a number by 10 or its multiples, the product is the number with the total zeros to its right. I believe that you still don't get what does it mean, but let's get it. So 1 times 10 equals 10. Okay, it is easy, right? And 1 times 10, I believe that you do not have these steps. 9 times 10, of course, still 90. 12 times 10, this one. So this one, 12 times 10, I know that some of you knows the answer, but some of you still don't get it. It's okay. 12 times 10. Look at this orange book. Set aside the zeros. Means that you will set aside the 0. Okay? After that, what do you have? 12 times 1, right? So just write it down, 12 times 1 here, which is 12, and then put the zeros back to the right. This is. So 12 times 1, 12. Put the zeros back to its right, 0. That's it. 67 times 10, same again. Set aside the zeros. Okay. So now what we have is 67 times 1. 67 times 1 is, of course, 67. Don't forget, every number, all number, each number multiplied by 1 will be that number itself. 67 times 1 equals 67, and put the zeros to its right, means to the back. So what we have is 670. How about this multiplication by 100? 1 times 100, still easy, 100. 9 times 100, still easy, 900. 12 times 100. Again, set aside the zeros. All zeros here, okay? So 1, 2, 0, set it aside. 12 times 1, which is 12, put the zeros back. That's it. So 12 times 1, 12, and then put the zeros back. How many zeros we have here? 2, 2 zeros. So 1, 0, 2 zeros. That's it. 12 times 100 equals 1,200. 67 times 100. Once again, set aside the zeros. Set aside the zeros. After that, multiply the numbers. 67 times 1 equals 67. And then put the zeros back. 2 zeros, 2 zeros. So 67 times 100 equals 6,700. So that's it. Easy, right? When we multiply a number by 10 or its multiples, the product is the number with the total zeros to its right. Artinya, ketika kita mengkalikan angka dengan 10 atau 100 atau 1000 atau 200 atau 20.000, as long as that is their multiples, the product is the number with the total zeros to its right. Okay? Now, what we have here, 1 times 1,000. We're going to have these steps, okay? Set aside the zeros, multiply the numbers. So, we're going to set aside the zeros. Multiply the numbers. 1 times 1, 1. And then put the zeros back to the right. How many zeros we have there? 3, right? So 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. So 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. 9 times 1,000. Once again, we're going to use these steps. First, set aside the zeros. Set aside the zeros, all the zeros. Okay? After that, multiply the number. Multiply the number. What do we have? 9 times 1. 9. After that, put the zeros back to the right. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. 9 times 1,000 equals 9,000. Kind of easy? Okay. 12 times 1,000. Once again, set aside the zeros. Set aside the zeros. Multiply the numbers. 12 times 1 equals 12. And then put the zeros back. How many zeros? 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. So 12 times 1,000 equals 12,000. Okay, get it? Next one. Now 67 times 1,000. Once again, set aside the zeros. Set it aside. So what number we have here? 67 times 1 equals 67. After that, we have the zeros. Put the zeros back to the right. How many zeros we have? 3 zeros. 1 0, 2 0, 3 zeros. So that's it. 67 times 1,000 equals 67,000. So this fact is correct. When we multiply a number by 10 or its multiples, the product is the number with the total zeros to its right. Easy, right? So with this trick, with this tips and trick, you do not need to make it into perkalian bersusun. Get it? Because it's kind of easy. Now let's go to the next one. Let's try it. 10 times 20. Okay. So before, our zeros is only this one, right? We do not have zeros here. But we have zeros here now. So set it aside. Okay? And right now, from now on, I'm going to remind you that zeros that we're going to set aside angka 0 yang akan kita simpan hanyalah only the zeros at the back. If the zeros in the middle or are in the middle, like for example 101, the zeros in the middle, right? We're not going to set it aside. We're going only to set aside the zeros which at the back. Only the zeros at the back. At the back, without any number following that zeros. Okay, so like this one, it doesn't have any number following the zeros, right? It also, and it is also. So these zeros doesn't have any number following these zeros. Artinya nggak ada lagi tuh angka yang ngikutin 00 ini. Kalau nolnya sudah tidak ada lagi yang mengikuti, berarti boleh kita simpan. So 10 times 20 set aside the zeros. So what we're going to have is 1 times 2 equals 2. And then how many zeros we have? How many zeros that we have set aside? 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So 10 times 20 is 200. Okay? Go to the next one. 90, we have zeros, and then we do not have number following the zero. Set it aside. 300, any number following the zeros? Nope, set it aside. So now what do we have? 9 times 3 equals 27. How many zeros we have set aside? 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So 90 times 300 equals 27,000. Easy, yeah? Go to the next. 120 times 120. Look at the zeros. Is there any number following the zeros? No. So set it aside. Is there any number following the zeros? Nope. Set it aside. So 12 times 12, 144. So how many zeros we have? 2 0 1 0 and 2 0. Get it? Okay. 11 times 200. Any zero? Nope. Any zero? Yep. Any number following the zero? Nope. Set it aside. So 11 times 2, 22. And then how many zeros we have? 2. So 11 times 200 equals 2,200. Kinda easy, right? Now, how about this one? 101 times 30. We have the zeros in the middle. Do we need to set it aside? The zero in the middle? No, because this number following the zero. Once again, if the zeros in the middle, no need to set aside. If the zero is followed by the other numbers, do not set it aside. Kalau angka nolnya masih diikuti angka lainnya, jangan disimpan. Hanya nol yang tidak diikuti oleh angka lainnya. Like this, 30, so we can set the zero aside. So what we're going to have? Is it a nope? But this one. 101 times 3 times 10. Why do you make it in long form, Mr. So you will know that 330 is 3 times 10, okay? Now we're going to times it one by one. 101 times 3 first. 303. After that, times it with 10. So look at here. That's why I make it in the red. Because this zero, we have set it aside. But this zero, no, because it is in the middle, okay? 303 times 1, 303. Put the zeros back. So that's the answer is 3030. Zeros at the ones place, not zeros in between numbers. But it cannot only in the ones, not only in the ones, but it can be in anything as long as there's no numbers following the zeros. Let's practice. So we have here page 12. Look at here, 52 times 100. These zeros at the back, right? Set it aside. So 52 times 1, 52, and then put zeros. How many zeros? 2. 40 times 100. Look at any number? Nope, set aside. Look at 0, any number? Nope, set it aside. So 4 times 1, 4. How many zeros? 3. So that's it, 4,000. 95 times 100. Set it aside. 95 times 1. That's it. 217 times 100. Any number involving zeros? Nope, set it aside. So 217 times 1 is, that's it, 21,700. Okay? Because there are 2 zeros here. 315 times 100. That's it. 305. And I put the zeros in the back. 3,810 times 100. Look at this is set it aside. These are set it aside. So that's it. We have 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 5 times 1,000. Easy. 5,000. 70 times 1,000. Once again, if there's zeros not following the others, do not be followed by the others, set it aside. How many zeros? 4. So 7 times 1. 7 with 4 zeros. Same with this one. 400 times 1,000. 400,000. 603 times 1,000. Do we need to set this aside? The 0 in the middle? No, yeah. Do not save this one. Only this. So that's it. That's it. That's it. Kinda easy, right? So please practice it by yourself. Workbook page 12, yeah. Workbook page 12. Now, chapter 2, we have learned about the multiplication by 10 and its multiples. Can be 20, can be 50, can be 100, can be 500, and so on, as long as that is multiples. So that's all about our meeting 3 in chapter 1. Please don't forget to study more. If you have any question regarding to that, you may leave your question in the comment section, or you may ask me through @Modo. Can be @Modo DM or can be @Modo comment section. That's all for today. Don't forget that please practice your multiplication skill by doing workbook page 14. We're going to discuss it at the next Zoom meeting, and also I have one video for you to get it more. This one you may watch it and it has some stories. I believe that is a funny story about cat and mouse, but also includes our lesson. So don't forget to study more or watch this one, and see you next time. Bye bye.